Hi, this is going to be a short March market update, but in the meantime, I'm going to try to escape Wisconsin winter. We could probably just call this Chapter 3, see Chapter 2 and be done with it. Or, in other words, holy shit, what has changed now? The market isn't actually much different than it was a month ago, besides the bank issues we all saw in the news. For more details about the overall market, you can actually go and watch my February market updates and you'd still be good. Anyways, let's get to it. We're currently hovering around that 6.3% for a 30-year fixed rate, depending on your personal factors. We know that the spread between the 10-year Treasury and the 30-year fix has widened. As I said in the last video, the average spread is usually that 1.7%. However, the average spread is going back to the first of this year was at 2.7%. Housing inventory is the real issue we face. We will get through this interest rate challenge, but having enough homes to go around is an entire another matter. COVID appeared and recreated the meaning of home. Businesses shut down, more and more people started working from their homes, kids were forced to stay home for school and everything else, and everything revolved around the home basically. Interest rates sank to around 2.75%, and that's when we saw armies of people jumping in and saying, now we're ready to buy a house. Now, as you can imagine, this all started to deplete inventory across the country and fuel this market that we've seen over the last couple of years. Inventory rises, but it's still below where it was in 2019. This graphic from Realtor.com shows the active monthly listings in the last 7 Februaries. You see 577,000 active listings in February of this year, compared to over 1 million almost in the years prior to the pandemic. Inventory is down about 6% January over February most recently. Most states are between 0 and 15% down across the country, and just about anywhere we're seeing less inventory relative to the month that they saw prior. The reason things haven't spiraled out of control like we saw in 2008 is because it was a very strong buyer's market and the inventory was very high back then. We have had 14 straight years of lack of building homes, so that's how you get a deficit. Everybody rushes in during COVID due to those low interest rates. You don't have the available inventory, and that causes prices to spike. All forecasters say that there's not enough homes on the market for the number of people that want to buy them. Some people ask if they should buy a home if the interest rates are higher and if they have to go into a bidding war. You do need to keep in mind that rent always goes up, but most homes gain value and continue to build equity over time. Here we can see a median asking rent since 1988. It's always gone up. You know what I'm talking about, especially if you are a current renter. Rent has gone up dramatically. When you buy a home, your mortgage payment remains fixed. You can bring that stability to the largest expense of your household budget. If you wait for prices, you wait for interest rates to come down, what do you think everybody else is going to do? It's going to be just like Black Friday at one of those big box stores. You're going to get into a fight. If you go back the last 30 years, the average appreciation in this country was almost 300%. To be more accurate, right around 289%. So we can say that homes go up in value, rents also always go up, but you can secure your housing payment when you're buying a home, and it is an appreciating asset. If you bought a home around $200,000 this year, you could gain around $25,000 to $30,000 or more just by waiting around 5 years before you would sell. You're also looking at around $50,000 to $60,000, possibly more equity gain if your home was right around that $400,000 this year. Are you thinking about buying or selling a house? Get a hold of us today. My marketing team and I will get to work for you right away. Until we meet again, my friends, Redbeard out.